Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to sculpt figures using this material called Milliput. There's a standard and a super fine white. For this project I'm going to use only the standard because the super fine white is meant for other things. You can sculpt with it, but it's best to use for a different project, and this will be of course for a later video. So let's stick with Milliput standard for this project. To prevent mixing too much milliput than I'm gonna use, I take small pieces from both parts at a time. With some water, you just dip your fingertips in it to prevent the milliput from sticking to you, and mix both parts well until it's one solid color. Here I have some dried up milliput that I've rolled out into rods from past projects, and they come in handy when, in this particular case, sculpting any figures that are sitting, and I'm going to use it as my base for the legs of this driver. And for demonstration, I'm going to show using this Mad Max / Gasland car that I designed a few years ago and never finished it. And to have room to work with, I removed the steering wheel. Again, using one of those milliput rods, I'm going to start shaping the legs. From here, now I have my starting point, and I could sculpt the thighs and work my way up. I put some super glue to help the milliput stick. At this point, it's just a matter of shaping and sculpting away. When using milliput, always keep your sculpting tool nice and moist to prevent the material from sticking to the tool and ruining your sculpt. As you move forward with the project, you can continue adding little pieces of milliput to add volume to your figure. In my experience using this material, I find that it's much better and easier to sculpt using little pieces at a time as opposed to just blobbing a whole chunk and trying to shape it. Now we're going to work our way up to the lower body and the torso. Add a little bit of super glue. Here I have a 1/72 scale Urban Warrior, and I'm going to use, in this case, his head. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mold and use UV resin to recast it. And it'll fit the theme for my guys, which are desert raiders. I add a little bit of super glue on this part of the chair. Here's the recasted head, and I'm purposely going to glue him down, slightly looking to his left, just to give the figure a little bit of a personality. And you'll see this later when I prime it. Let's add a bit more volume to his body. After about 45 minutes of work, the clay is starting to get a little tacky, which means it's getting hard, and it's a perfect time to go around the whole figure and tap down all those little lumpy areas you don't want. Trust me on this. If it doesn't look like a figure at this point, it will later once it's fully dried. You will see. The best part about Milliput at this stage, once it starts to dry, it's a perfect opportunity to go in and give detail to your miniatures. For example, wrinkles in the clothes, textures, lines, etc. We test fit him to make sure his head is not touching the ceiling of the car, and it's a perfect fit. Now it's time to make the arms, and for this I'm going to use thin flooring wires. This is optional. I choose to do it. Make some fingers on this guy. Give the model a couple of hours to fully dry, and with a blade, you can sand down whatever little imperfections you might not want on your final results before painting. This is also great to trim down the arms if you think they're too big, and the hands as well. This video was intended for anybody like me who does not have access to a 3D printer to, let's say, 3D print their own figures. And also, it's beneficial because you can customize your models and sculpt them according to the car you're putting them in. So thank you for watching. Until next time.